Zondervan presents A Man's Heart by Laurie Copeland. Read by Tavia Gilbert. Prologue. Washington State. Jules's breath caught in her throat. The lights in the grill dimmed. Heat rushed to her cheeks. She had to run. She had to get out of here. Sliding out of the booth, she fled. "Jules! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Her breath came in ragged spurts. Poor Cruz. Why would she do this to him a second time? She loved him. She adored him. But she couldn't marry him. Not tomorrow. She needed more time. She couldn't be married, help Pop run the farm, and go back to college. She wasn't Superwoman.
"Jules, hold it right there."
The force in Cruz Delgado's tone stopped her dead in her tracks. Drawing a deep breath, she held to the doorframe. Jukebox music filled the background. Don Williams's voice in the background sang something about some broken hearts never mend. She sensed Cruz stalk toward her. Think of a sane reason, Julianne Mattias, some logical, justifiable circumstance that you would walk away from this man a second time. Visions of the hours and previous months that she'd spent winning back his confidence formed a gray aura around her. His surprisingly gentle touch stopped her plight. Closing her eyes, she allowed him to lead her out of the local watering hole to the parking lot. Bitter, cold air caught her breath, and she took deep draughts of foggy night air.
"It's okay, sweetheart. It's just a panic attack."
Just? She shrugged free, fighting a sense of impending doom, the kind of dread that some terrible calamity was about to befall her. "Sorry, I can't, Cruz."
"We've been through this 100 times, Jules."
His impatient tone penetrated her angst.
"What's wrong now?"
"Nothing's wrong. I realize I needed more time." His eyes pinpointed her. Hurt filled their depths.
"What do I have to do, Jules? How do I prove that I love you more than life itself?"
He turned her around to face him, his breath a vapor in the nippy weather.
"You can commit to me. I'm not going to hurt you or abuse your trust."
Shaking her head, she tried to talk between gasps. "It isn't a matter of trust."
"Bull."
"It isn't, Cruz. It's just not right yet. Pop needs my help."
"Pop was growing Blue Bayou potatoes long before you were a twinkle in his eye, and he always managed to make ends meet. I can't see how your going back to college now is going to help a blessed thing."
He was right. Her crazy idea that with more education she could get the farm in better financial shape was crock. She was looking for an excuse out and picked a poor one. She took a couple more deep breaths, squeezing her eyes shut, wishing the dread away. "I can't explain. I wish that I could, but I can't. It just doesn't feel right."
"Okay."
He released her so swiftly that she lost footing. A calm hand steadied her.
"So the wedding is off again?"
"No, not okay." Her heart screamed the silent rebuke. Calm. All she had to do was excuse the panic attack and pretend the incident never happened. They could continue with dinner, talk about last-minute wedding preparations. The ceremony was at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Sophie's lovely teal-blue maid-of-honor dress hung in Jules's closet. The cake was baked, flowers scheduled to be delivered to the church in the morning. She reached out and touched his arm, and he drew back. "Please, Cruz."
"Not this time, Jules."
The streetlight above the brick building illuminated his face. Anger, disbelief, disgust played across his rugged features, and she couldn't fault him.
"Any time you think about marrying, a steel gate slams into place. I want marriage, Jules, and kids."
"And that's what I want." She held up a pleading hand. "It's exactly what I want, but—" She paused. "The time doesn't feel right."
"This is the second time you've changed your mind at the last minute,"
he snapped. "I know. I'm sorry. Perhaps in a few months." Settling his hat back on his head, he said quietly,
"Obviously, you don't know what you want. Your problem, Jules, is you've convinced yourself that you're not capable of making a marriage work. You think since your folks' marriage was a disaster, yours is doomed to suffer the same."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?